Hey, Beep Baseball world. Welcome to another edition of the Beep Ball Blues Show. Happy Father's Day to all of those it applies to. It is just me, Neil, DAWG. Seth Dog was spending time with the family on Father's Day and trying to make it back, but they're held up in traffic a little bit. He is not going to make it in, but we have plenty of show for you. Normally, we would have Demo pop in here with us and recap because the first leg of the Beast of the East just got started yesterday. But honestly, it's all on me. I lost track of dates and start times of tournaments, and I, in my mind, had that coming up next week, and so I already had started working on another show. At the end of this show, we are going to recap the first leg of the Beast of the East a little bit, at least give you some scores and a couple details. But before that, we are going to spend some time with a group from the Indy Thunder. I will introduce everybody we got with us so far, and then we will start saying hello to everybody. Of course, my man Darnell Booker has set this up. He brought with him Mr. MVP every weekend, Cody Jeffries, their rookie EJ Sellers, and their first year player, and technically at the World Series, a rookie also, Joel Taube. Joel Taube. Welcome everybody. How's it going, Buck? I'll start with you. Of
It's
course, that
going good,
doesn't
Neil. Thanks,
work.
thanks, thanks. It's going good, Neil. Thanks for
Good
having me,
deal.
man.
You
Appreciate
bet.
it.
You bet.
Just brought along, like I said, just brought along all these guys except for Joel, our second year guys with our team. EJ, second year player, just graduated from high school. Cody's, of course, he's played beat ball before, but the second year with the Thunder, and then Joel, who played a little bit with the Edge, is our first year guy with the Thunder as well. So just wanted to bring some guys to you. Well, especially EJ and Joel. I know Cody's been on your show before, but
Yeah.
we're excited about our team, man. We're excited about EJ's progression, and we're definitely excited about Joel.
Yeah, my bad. I think when I was introducing everybody, I said EJ Sellers is a rookie, and I don't think he's a rookie. I know he's not a rookie. I saw him, both he and his mother, as part of the team last year. So if I called you a rookie, EJ, that's just my mind not working right. I'm an old man, EJ.
I, I got your back, Neil. Sorry, that's why
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know my team. I know our team. So
Yeah. I appreciate that. Mr. Cody, man, welcome back to the show, my friend. Appreciate you jumping in.
Oh yeah, glad to jump back on, dude. It's good to talk to you again. Enjoyed the last one. And glad to be here this time and get to recap some of the action that's been going over the last few weeks. It's
I
been pretty
don't
exciting.
I don't know if you check out the show very often, but do you get tired of me always having to list your name on all-star teams?
Well, you know, I did you a favor. You didn't have to do that this last weekend. I did everybody a favor and made you guys a little easier, made it a little bit more exciting, got some different names up there. So, you're welcome.
That's crazy too, because I think that might be the first time you missed out on one since you joined the Thunder. With
It's
all
yeah,
Did it happen last year?
it was my worst weekend since joining the Thunder. That's actually it's my worst weekend in a while in beat ball. I don't say that. It was my worst, definitely my worst weekend with the Thunder, but um, it's all good. It was a fun week. The team got the wins, and that's all that matters. I was excited to see the team do good as a whole. Like getting to see everybody contribute was a fun time. But yeah, for me personally, that was a rough week in batting, but it's all good. We got it cleaned up, I think.
Well, yeah, I'm assuming when you're talking rough, you're a lot of it you're talking offensively, because frankly, I've been impressed with the effort you've been making defensively.
Yeah, it was mainly just talking about the offense, the batting. I think I had more strikeouts this weekend than I did all last season. Um, And so, but defensively, that was a real point of attention over the offseason. My goal, you know, coming off the World Series, as soon as we got done with the World Series, I talked to Jared about it in book, and that was my point of emphasis going into the offseason. What I really wanted to work on and improve was my defense, and so been working on that as much as possible, and I feel a lot better, feel a lot more confident going into this year's World Series.
Very nice. Well, keep up the good work. We're going to talk some more Thunder in general as we go on, but we want to get to know the new people to the show a little bit. I will say before I say hi real quick to EJ and Joel and start getting their backgrounds. Ron Brown, legend downtown, Ronnie Brown, president of the Indy Thunder, has joined us, but we haven't been able to get a good connection with him. So he's just going to sit back and let this thing fly since we're not able to hear him too well. But I want people to know that Ronnie Brown is trying to be part of this with us. EJ, I'm going to say hello to you really quick. Here in your second year, man, how I know you got to play a little bit with the Indy Gray, get a little more playing time. How's your second season going?
Oh, I've loved it so far. It's been absolutely amazing. I think I've definitely made a lot of improvement compared to last year. Um, that's the plan though, is to just keep on improving, do what I got to
All
do.
right. All right. If you're not trying to improve, why do it at all? Just go through the
Right,
motions.
right.
Go through the motions. I'm going to jump back to you in a minute because I want to get your background, learn more about you outside of beatball, but got to get a quick hello in to my man, Joel Talby. I appreciate, last week had a little fun with your name after you made the all tournament team. Congratulations on that. Good weekend last weekend. But when I came across it, you had hit the like button. I was like, oh, cool. He rolled with it. But man, welcome
Uh,
to the show.
oh man, thanks for having me. Yeah, it's no big deal, man. I thought it was all in fun, so it's all good.
I appreciate you jumped over from the Edge to the Thunder. You're playing with Jared Woodard for the first time. It seems after last weekend that's going pretty well for you.
Yeah, no complaints at all with Jared on the mountain, man. He's the best. So
That's odd because usually everybody else complains about what a terrible pitcher he is. Yeah. No, man, good for you. Get to play with the Hall of Famer and
oh man,
someone, even though I know, there are other pitchers challenging for it, but at this point I feel like Jared is at the top of that list for now. So you're in a good spot, my man.
yeah, I agree.
All right, I'm going to jump to EJ. I want to get his background, then I'm going to come back to you and get your background, and then we'll get everybody in, talk some Thunder Beepball. So, EJ, man, I know you just graduated high school. I hear that you're going to be attending Ball State this coming year. Like, what's your vision situation? How do you end up in our game?
So I have a ROP, retinopathy of prematurity. It's a stable. It's just it can't get better. Um, when it comes to b-ball, I found out through my wrestling coach, but at the blind school, Aaron C. He introduced me
I've
to
heard
it.
of that guy.
I was like, this is awesome. I've always loved baseball, so like finding beat ball and having a chance to play coming out with the Thunder and stuff, it's just amazing. It's like a family, man.
Yeah, and for you, literally, it's not just you, but your mom's been getting involved. I got to be honest. I remember your name the most. It left an impression the first time I was got familiar with you and your mom. Your mom was streaming one of the coldest games in beat baseball history, and I
Yeah.
literally could hear her teeth chatter while while she was doing the game. So she was a real trooper.
Oh, absolutely. Now she's spotting.
Yeah, I noticed that she was spotting for the Indy Gray team, right? The Thunder Gray team at the
Yeah.
Bonanza.
Oh,
Awesome,
yeah.
awesome. I've always loved just like kind of the family atmosphere that beep ball has in general for most people. I guess not everybody feels that, but that's the way I've always felt. But we have so many family connections. I mean, your pitcher, Jared Woodard, he had two uncles that played at least that I know of.
Mhm.
His other uncle's been a pitcher, umpire, you know what I mean? Whatever. Like it's a total family thing for some people. So, man, it's cool to see you and your mom get involved. Before I jump over to Joel and get his background, do you have any like favorite parts of beep ball? Favorite, what are you excelling at? What do you like the most?
Um, I mean, obviously, like me being young, I love to just hit the ball, just make contact. It's the greatest feeling. But at the moment, I have to say right now, my favorite is probably defense.
When you guys had the Indy grade team, where were you playing that weekend on the
They had
field?
me short right, I
Wow.
think.
You think? Look,
Yeah, it was
what's he
short
mean he
right, and
thinks?
they
He
had
doesn't know where he was?
it was short right. It was short right.
Good man. You can't sound indecisive, EJ. You gotta be strong. I went short right. That was the reason we did well. No, very cool. I mean, obviously they have confidence in you to have you up front. So good for you.
I hope so.
Good for you. All right, let's get to know your teammate a little bit. So, Joel, I'm familiar with you from the Indy Edge,
Yeah.
but you never actually made it to a World Series with them. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. One summer I was doing the BEP program, and then that took up my time. I couldn't make it to the World Series, and then the next year, I think I moved down here by Louisville, like on the southern part of Indiana. So I didn't really get a chance to go. And then the next year, you know, just didn't end up playing for the Edge. So wasn't really for sure if I was going to keep playing. But I talked to Jared and Aaron C. They kind of got me back out there. So I'm excited about it.
I remember that when you joined the Thunder, that you and Aaron C had joined together, but I didn't know like if that was just coincidence or whatever. So he had a little bit to do with bringing you back.
Yeah, he's my buddy, man. He's one of my favorite guys, man. So he's a great teammate. He's really been putting in the work. You can see he's getting the batting titles every weekend, and his defense is getting. Shout out
Yeah.
to Aaron.
Yeah, no, that's something we'll talk about when we bring the whole group in and talk Thunder in general. But I just haven't had some personal interaction with Aaron and knowing that he wanted a chance at defense and getting seeing him out there getting to play defense now is really fun for me just as a fan of his. So what's your background? How do you end up in our world?
About the age of 13, I got diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa,
All
or
right.
better known as RP. I played competitive sports, my whole life. Baseball, I played until I played college. I went to a junior college and played at it's called Ancilla College up there by South Bend, Indiana. I played for a year, but I couldn't really. Coaches would get mad when I couldn't see them pop up, so
What
couldn't really.
sorry,
I,
go ahead.
no, it's all right.
What did you play when you played baseball? I know when
I
you're
played.
young, you probably
Yeah,
played a little bit of everything, but
yeah, I played shortstop my whole life, and then when I went to
okay.
college, I played little shortstop center field. But you
Was
know,
the center field on your part like a move because of the vision issue?
no, they center field was because I had a pretty strong arm and
Okay.
fast,
Okay.
but that was a long time ago. So
Oh, happy Father's Day, by the way. I think you're the only one in the group outside of Ronnie Brown that gets to celebrate today. Happy Father's Day. Like how many kids do you have? How old are you, if
uh,
you don't mind me asking?
I'm 38.
Okay.
My wife's we got a 9 year old, and then I got a baby. He
Wow.
just turned 11 months a couple days ago. So
Oh, wow.
he, been,
Congratulations.
yeah, it's awesome, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man, that's very cool. And I'll ask you the same thing as EJ. Like, What's your kind of favorite thing about beep ball? Your thing you
Uh,
put your
Hitting
hat
comes
on.
to me. I've been doing it for so long, just swinging the bat so natural. But then, like playing defense, man, it's challenging, and that's what I'm starting to really like it. I didn't like it at first, but I'm starting to come together, man, and realize what I can do and what I can't do, and what balls I can get, and just the difference of hearing a ball when it comes at you, and then it being far away from you, or hitting a shot getting hit at you and staying low. It's a lot to learn, but I'm
Yeah.
getting there.
No, it's a process. I mean, I'm a coach on the Siren staff, and a lot of our players, last year was their first year. We got you guys probably know Jasmine Nelson. She's going to be playing for her first time this year, and like there's just nothing to do other than patiently go through the time it takes to get comfortable on the field. You can't just be thrown out there and be comfortable. It's a whole process.
Yeah,
Talk about your own personal process though. Like, shortstop and center field, those are the hot spots in
yeah,
baseball. They don't put anybody at shortstop and center field that
right,
aren't among your best at throwing and fielding.
yeah.
So, having been like, a top fielder in baseball, like what's that transition? Putting the blindfold on and using hand-ear coordination over hand-eye coordination. What's that like for
I
you?
think I would have been better in my 20s, but now that I've been out of the game for so long, 18 years almost, and I mean, if I get my body right, which I'm working on athletically, I think it'll start coming a little bit more natural. But sometimes old man syndrome kicks in, and it's
Oh
tough for
man,
me to get
you're 38.
moved.
Old
I know, man.
man. God.
Old. I feel old sometimes.
I can feel that. Oh, but no, don't play around. I mean, Cody, you can confirm this. Like, you got to get your body ready. If Jared Woodard's your pitcher at the World Series, that's a lot of running.
Oh
Yeah,
A
yeah,
lot
no,
of running.
the World Series is a long, long week. That's for sure. You got to take care of yourself. You got to be, in great shape going into it, especially with, we're not exactly playing in, 65-degree weather all the time.
Make don't hesitate either, Joel and anybody else, man. Go check out Mike Finn's YouTube page. He's got so much stuff up there. You're trying to get in shape. He's got
yeah.
recommendations on ways to eat, ways to exercise. He's got a whole beat ball like playlist, man. Don't check out Finn Fit TV on YouTube. Oh,
I'll check them out for
yeah,
sure.
a lot of free expert advice up there. I consider Mike Finn a genius of the human body. All right,
All right.
man. Let's get Cody and Book back in here. Let's just talk a little Thunder Beep Ball. Start with you, Coach. Man, you guys had a big weekend after finishing third at the Bonanza, which I'm sure disappointed you. You guys bounce back and get the victory at the Bolingbrook Bash. Man, how you feeling about your team right now, Book?
Feel a little bit better. I'm glad we're all back together as a unit. It was just an unfortunate situation with San Antonio, but I'm glad we're what a week a difference makes from the blue team, great team, uh, and we all come back together as one unit. That's what I really like, and we felt pretty good about Chicago. We work, our big thing with the Thunder is our player development. These guys are all versatile. They can play any spot, if they need to. And working with EJ, Joel, and Cody, those guys are real coachable, and they can we put them in different spots, but we know where. Cody wanted Cody to play some short left, and he's really excelled in that area. So we're good with Cody there. And then, like I said, just with our player development, it goes back to when we first started our team, and when we had our championship run, player development is real important, and we feel like we can do. We have a lot of good resources with myself and Jared and helping these guys and coaching these guys along. And I love coaching these guys and coaching them up. Yeah, but we're in a really good spot. We we had a definitely a flashback moment when we came down from we were down what 7 going into the bottom of the 6th, and Jared put it on the bats, and those guys got to the base. So that was a really good feeling. I know both teams weren't at full strength because, like I said, I mean, we were missing Aaron for the last 2 games, and of course, like I said, we don't know what the situation is. Will be with one of our other good players, Zach Bueller. We don't know what his situation is going to be as far as the Paralympics go, but I tell you, we've learned to win a lot of different ways without some of our key players in our championship run. And it would be great if we're pulling for Zach to make the Go Ball team, but if he doesn't make the Paralympic team, it'll be great to have him there too. So we have great depth on our team, and these guys that are not starting are preparing like starters. That's what I tell them to do, to prepare like starters. So we have a really good nucleus this year, and I look to see us be in the mix like we were last year, and hopefully taking that next step back to where our standards are as Indy Thunder's concerned, is being up at the top.
Well, in all fairness, you didn't really drop way off. I feel you, but you're like, back to our standards. You finished 3rd last year, but it's not horrible.
Well, I mean, it's always my mentality as coaching these guys is championship or bust. And I know 2 years ago we finished 6th and then 3rd. So, but adding good pieces, and like I said, these guys wanted to come to us, and as an organization, as a team, we voted them in, and I just like to say I'm really high on all these guys. I'm high on all of them, and I know they will perform at the highest. So when we put these guys in good positions to win.
You mentioned at the beginning about the versatility, and I remember when Cody was on last fall, and Zach and Reese Hudson and Kyle Lewis were all with him. Kyle talked about that. You guys had somewhere like as many as like 4 different people play short left for you at the World Series last year. Do you know if
Yeah,
what that number
we
is?
we yeah, it was about 3 to 4. Yeah, we just have to had to figure it out, and all these guys can play, but like I said, can play the position. But like I said, as coaches, we look back, we know what our quote unquote our Achilles heel is. We got to straighten it out, and we'll get it done. And like I said, with the versatility of our team, I think I feel really, really good about where we are right now, with Cody playing that position. And like I said, he stressed to me and Jared in the off season that he wants to work on his defense, and it's showing that he's worked on his defense and he's prepared his body to do that, because that is like the hot spot. But yeah, I feel like we get that shirt up, and like I said, you can't play games on paper, but I'm sure with the progress that we've had at this point in time, looks like we will rectify that short left. Not that those guys couldn't play it, but I feel real confident this year that we will rectify that short left.
Well, the way I actually, if I came across as criticizing it, I wasn't. It's impressive to me. Normally, I would go with the attitude if you're playing multiple people at short left, you don't have a legitimate short left. But I don't feel that way about the case last year, because you guys still finished 3rd and had pretty. Nobody had a great defense on those fields, but you guys held in there and got outs when you needed. So. Maybe that old adage, if you're playing more than one at a position, you don't have somebody for that position. Doesn't fit when you got that much depth and versatility. Hey, speaking of
Well,
go ahead.
no, I was gonna say we don't make any excuses. Uh, we 3rd is where we finished because San Antonio was a much better team, and with the logistics, what happened last year with the heat and everything like that, we literally did not have a lot of time off between, because we played about 8 hours of beat ball before we even played the 3rd place game. But again, we're the type of organization that don't make excuses or anything like that. We did our best. The guys gave it their all, because like I said, I was once on their side as a player, and everything like that. So I get it. And like I said, hopefully we'll be more prepared this next World Series coming up. But yeah, I mean, San Antonio was the better team. But like I said, this year we'll be, hopefully, like I said, we'll take that next step. But it's tough playing 8 hours of beat ball, then only have about a 2-hour break in between
Yeah.
yeah, because we played Boston for about 4.5 hours, and we played Philly for about 4.5 hours. So then the guys were only off their feet for about 2.5 hours or so. And it's really tough to ask, but that was a hard ask. But we did the best we could. Where there's no excuses, and we'll be better prepared this year. Trust me.
Hey, Cody, I want to ask you because we're talking about depth and versatility, which I believe the Thunder already had. And then you guys go get two of my favorite players, Axel Cox and Mike Coughlin, and throw them in the mix. Tell me, I know you only had I believe, just the one weekend with them so far, but what was your experience like playing with those guys?
Oh, it's been awesome. I was, excited to have them on. I've, talked to Axel a few times over the last like couple seasons in passing, and I've been on the end of a couple of beat downs from the Jets, with the chaos, and then speaking of that third place San Antonio game, that was actually that was one of my biggest motivations going into the offseason for working on my defense, because last year, I felt like, obviously you kind of mentioned like everybody's defenses got cooked last year on those fields. Like, you squared anything up, you barreled a ball, it was a run most of the time. But specifically in that third place game against the Jets, going back and, rewatching the games, there was a couple of just weak ground balls that should have absolutely been fielded. The field being short was not a factor on those two balls that were hit right at me. They should have been routine outs. Both of them were with two outs. Would have ended the inning with us either having like only being down like one run, maybe two runs at that, and then ball gets by me, because I misplay it, and then boom, next thing we know, they go on a 5-6 run streak, and really like start walking away on us and putting us in a hole. And that happened on two different occasions, both times that we played them. And so the Jets were just really a huge motivating factor as far as me wanting to work on my defense. And at that time I felt like a liability no matter where I was, whether it was short right, deep left, deep right, whatever. I just felt like a liability on defense, and so I didn't like that feeling and decided it was time to really work on it. And so that's kind of where that got the motivation came from. But
props to you for holding yourself accountable and working on it, being honest with yourself. Yeah, honestly, in this game, not everybody on defense, not everybody is honest with themselves or whatever. And especially if they're like leading off and hitting 800 all the time, they might not even be questioned about it. But props to you for taking responsibility for that and wanting to improve. I like it.
I think that's kind of how you need to approach anything. You should always look to improve, no matter whether it's sports, your job, life, whatever. Like, you should always try to look to improve. Never assume you're perfect, because you're not. There's always ways that you can improve. And just being a better person, you can always improve. And so it's always important to work on that. But no, Axel, kind of circle back on your question, or what you're asking about is Axel and Mike coming over to you. Those guys they're good people. They're awesome. They fit right in. Axel playing, he's playing in the middle on defense. The one thing that I noticed off the bat with him is he's so soft-footed. Like,
smooth.
Anything
Gotta
hit
call it right, smooth.
Smooth 22 is the best name on the planet for him, because any ball that was hit in the middle, whether it was hit 45 feet or 100 feet, anything hit there, I'm going over there to track it and laying out for it. Getting up after the play, I wouldn't hear him until he's getting up off the ground. I didn't realize he was 2 feet behind me. I was like, oh my god, he's like a ghost back there. So he's real soft-footed, but man, he moves around great. So it's having him in the middle to plug that hole on defense is, it's awesome. And then Coughlin, I know he's played a lot of short on defense, in his career. So having that, having him be able to, fill in short left, short right, is awesome. And then obviously we know, what kind of offense they bring. And so just my biggest thing with them is that they're real good guys. They fit right in. It's been a joy to have them.
Man, did I hear right with you? You're not just EJ, but you're also going to be attending Ball State in the fall. Is that correct? Yeah. Did I hear that wrong?
Oh no,
I read that wrong?
I'm in Georgia.
Yeah, no, I knew that. I thought, and I might have just interpreted Book's message incorrectly. The way I read it, I thought he was telling me that both you and EJ were going to Ball State, and I was like, "Oh man,
Uh,
if
oh
Cody
no,
if Cody moves to Indiana, it's over."
No, it's
no,
just
no, no,
EJ, man.
Okay,
It was just EJ.
Yeah, it's just
okay,
me.
no.
all right.
I am not built for the weather up there. Absolutely not.
No, fair
The
enough.
only
Fair enough.
university I'm
Completely
attending is
understandable.
YouTube University.
I was thinking though, man, that man's committed. This dude's moving to Indiana to play beat ball. Obviously, it would have been to go to college too, also, but no, I misread that, so my bad. So,
Oh, you're good.
EJ and Joel, I would like to ask both of you. I know EJ's kind of been going through it over the last 2 years, and Joel, you had to experience this with all the talent that is on the edge for
Hmm.
you guys, kind of trying to find your way in this sport, playing on a team that's got kind of legendary players in a lot of ways, and the Adams, Kyle, Zach, the Cody making his name for himself. Like what's it like for you guys trying to fit in and figure out, work your way into this? Oh, I heard you pop in, Joel. I'll let you go first.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I mean, I know there's a lot of talent on the team, but I mean, I know what I can bring to the plate, and I'm okay with that. I know some of these guys have been playing a long time; they got a lot of experience, and they're great, But I just try to, outwork them, or we're a team, so it doesn't, I'm okay with, sitting and letting somebody else play, or when my time comes, I'll be ready to step up and ball out. It's not.
Yeah. And your confidence makes sense because you've got so much experience playing competitive sports. EJ, though, I'm thinking like kind of you because you're younger and I don't know how much competitive sports you played outside of beep ball. I know you talked about wrestling, but like what's it like for you with all these big names in front of you trying to work your way into this game?
I mean, I think it's awesome being able to play with these guys, because like you said, they're legendary. But I'm just trying to do what I can, bring what I can to the table. Some of these guys are bringing in Texas Roadhouse meals. I'm bringing in fast food, but I'm trying to bring what I can. I've kind of done good so far, I think, with my defense from not last weekend, but the weekend before. Just try to fit in. It's not easy,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
I'd say I'm doing good so far. It's difficult, working my butt off, but doing what I can.
Very nice. Very nice. Any for this kind of for both of you, anybody stand out to you guys on the team, like kind of mentor wise? It kind of takes somebody that takes you under their wing and giving you little tips here and there, defense, offense, either.
Jared, I mean, I've learned so much on defense from him in practice. Him and Book do a great job with player rotation, time management, stuff like that. Man, it's pretty cool. They let everybody get in the game. But defensive wise, yeah, Jared, Book, or Kyle Lewis is back there too. Sometimes Aaron, uh, Cody. I mean, we talk a lot on defense, so that's how I'm learning that way.
Nice. What about you, EJ? Anybody
For
come
offense,
to mind?
I'd say like Jared, Cody, Kyle, Aaron. I
They're all
take
chipping
what
in.
they take what they yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Take what they, tell me, and I take it and I run
yeah.
with it.
Be a
Defense, I'd say Adam. I didn't mean to cut you off there. That's my
no,
bad
you're
though.
good. No, go.
Um, Defense, I'd say, Kyle, Jared too, Adam, Cody, they've all been giving me tips and telling me, what I should work on. And like I said, for offense, I take it and I run.
Don't lie to
Very
you.
nice.
I've never given you defensive tips.
You have given me defensive tips before.
I'll say the same thing that I was going to say after you talked about offense because it applies with both, man. Just especially at your age, just be a sponge, man, and absorb all of it. Take the good, take the bad, learn from all of it, and just keep rolling. Have yourself a career, dude. All right. Really, I
That's the
don't
plan.
Thunder-wise, I don't have anything else. But I always like to throw it out, see if there's anything else you guys want to throw out there that I didn't cover. Book, starting with you.
Yeah, I just want to say a few things. These guys, I mean, Jared and I are both coaching, co-coaches this year. So, because I told Jared I really want, you know, uh, Jared. I mean, because I've been really doing it for a long time, just coaching and Jared pitching. But I just like it when Jared and I are both co-coaches, and we may have different coaching styles. I'm more of a coach that I coach guys hard. I like because when I was growing up, I was coached hard, and hopefully these guys understand that, and I think they do. But I'm people say I'm more of the hype man, but I'm more of coaching these guys at the plate. Even telling them, I'm always talking before the pitches or the other pitchers pitching on defense to keep these guys up, letting them, giving them enough so that way they're not on an island. And so, yeah, like I said, so we have different philosophies of coaching wise as far as, but I tell these guys that I love these guys, but I coach them hard because I mean, like I said, I expect a lot out of these guys. Angles. We talk about angles. We talk about keeping the ball in front of you, talking about communication and all that stuff. So, and these guys, like I said, I know Jared has his way of coaching them, and I have my way of coaching them. But we all meet in the middle and have a respect for everyone and stuff like that. So these guys know how I coach them because I coach them at the plate. I coach them, like I said, when they're on defense, when they're out there, you don't hear Jared hardly say anything on the sidelines when they're on defense, but I'm talking it up for
I'll
these guys.
always hear you on the streams, Book.
But I
I'll
want
always hear you.
to say, but I want to say something about Ron Brown, who couldn't be here. I mean, he's on the probably listening, but Ron is the president of our organization, and RB's been with me. I've known RB. It'll be 40 years next year. I've known Ron Brown since 1985, senior in high school, and of course, Ron and I were teammates as far as player wise. Won a World Series as players in '90. So a little bit. Ron's been with me through it all, through thick and thin. Um, when the split came in 2011, when some of the guys left, Ron has always been loyal with me. I've been the president at sometimes of the organization, and I said, Ron, I don't want to be the president. I want you to try to take it over. And then 2011 is when we formed our board of directors. Ron said, look, we need to have a board of directors, so we need to form that. So, like I said, Ron's been everything to me, man, as far as my right-hand man and as far as helping our organization to be what it is today. Yeah, I mean, he's been my assistant coach. He was the coach at one time, and I was his eyes and stuff. And so he's like, man, why don't you coach? You know how to motivate these guys? Because Ron has a lot of irons in the fire with the National Federation of the Blind and his business and stuff like that. So I know he's not able to talk right now because of his connection. But man, this dude, man, when you look up loyalty, Ron Brown is loyal to our organization. To me, like I said, it'll be 40 years next year. I've known Ron, and like I said, right now Ron's just the president of our board and on the administrative side, and comes out. I'm sure he's not coaching anymore, but he just wanted to say, hey, why don't you and Jared take it over? And he just, but I just want to give Ron a lot of props and appreciation for keeping our organization strong because, as you know, Neil, I'm sure maybe you've heard about it, in 2011, we did kind of break off, but Ron stuck with us, and we've only finished out of the top 10 once in our 24-year history. That was in 2011 or 2012. 2011, where we finished 12th. Every year since then, we finished in the top 10. And then when we went young and 2016, when Jared came aboard, and then all these guys that came from the blind school and I've known, and some of those guys now that went to the edge and stuff like that. But like I said, it was just we have a standard here at our organization. If you want to be here, great. If you don't want to be here, we understand. We try to rebuild, but I'm happy with the guys we have, whether they're young guys like EJ, Dylan, those type of guys, and then our older guys with experience. And I'm happy for Axe and Mike coming along because it's unfortunate what happened to San Antonio. So, and we as an organization decided we want those guys to come on board. We didn't go pluck them. Like, so we don't do any plucking. People just they want to play for a good organization, and that's what we want to stand by. What we are. If you guys read the article, and we appreciate Rob doing that article, Rob Wiseman. I mean, that's our standard. I just hope these guys understand that. But I just want to give props out to our president, Ron Brown. Thanks, Neil.
Hey, you're all good. No, I know it goes way back because I was on the field against you guys in the undefeated game on Friday, 1990, when
Yes, sir.
I was playing for the East Bay Blaze. You guys beat us 16-9, went on to win your championship.
Yes, sir. That's why I said I understand that these guys as players, because like I said, I played competitively from 85 to about 99 before I started the Thunder, and Ron was with me through and through, like I said, and then James Michaels came along a little bit, but as far as loyalty, man, RB's been with me, man, since 1985, man. Just been with me since 1985, and
Ron,
that's just something to say. You know what I mean?
Ron, yeah, definitely. I love loyalty. Ron Brown was an all-star that year in 1990, and President Jerry Wendell was his pitcher. Cody,
Yep.
you can't give as long final thoughts as Book, but man, you got any final thoughts? Anything we didn't touch on during the show, Thunder-wise?
No, I'll keep it short and sweet. It's just kind of same premise as the last time I was on here, man. It's a great group that we have on the team. It's like Indiana breeds beat ball players. I swear they have a factory that just spits out beat ball players
Hey,
up there.
they're breeding players for my Cyrus team. We got like 4 players from Indiana.
Yeah, it's a machine up there. I swear there's a factory that spits them out. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
spill our secrets, Cody.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's up there. I'm
half
trying
the
to
state
build
is
one of
blind.
Yeah, it's something. There's something in the water. I don't know what it is. It's the weather, the snow, maybe. I have no answer for you. As soon as I figure it out, I'll release it to every single team.
Don't
So we'll
do it.
have 30 plus competitive teams.
This is how you do it.
But yeah, it's incredible. And then bringing on Axel and Mike, it's going to be great. I'm hoping Aaron gets a good diagnosis and is able to be on the World Series, because if he is, it's going to be a fun team. But
Absolutely.
yeah, it's just
definitely.
these guys, Adam, Kyle don't get talked about nearly as much as they should. I still think they're underrated as far as they don't get as much credit as they deserve. Those guys are our captains. They really put the work in, and they lead us out there. They're awesome dudes. I've learned a ton from those guys, and I appreciate them. And yeah, it's going to be a fun, competitive year. Looking forward to the World Series. Kind of excited to see how the next leg of the Beast of the East goes, and then really, I think it's going to be a real competitive top 5 for the World Series. I'm excited to see how that shakes out.
Yeah, adding on to what you said with Adam and Kyle, not just like Thunder-wise, I know they're valuable to your team, but I personally, from the outside looking in, have I am a fan of each of them just as NBBA people. I love when they're working as part of the board or committees, like they're dedicated, and they do their they 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 do their work for the MBBA with integrity, and that's always grabbed me about them. So I dig that. EJ, any final, but before I want people to know we're still going to run down the scores of the Beast of the East, but any final thoughts from you, EJ, before we move on to that tournament?
Not really. Book
right.
and Cody kind of covered it all.
All right, cool. I appreciate that. Joel Taubi, what about you?
Great group of guys, and everybody's unselfish. We want our end goal is to win championships, so that's what we're gonna go try and do. So, I appreciate everybody, man. Volunteers too, Book and Jared and everybody out here support.
All good. I before I guess I got one last thought from me. It'll end up with you, Book, but just showing appreciation, and since I'll give it to you, I want to give it to everybody. Like with our Sirens team, we're pretty spread out, and we don't get as much work as we need together. But the comments have been cool, and letting Kalari get some work in with them. The Indy Edge have been really cool about getting Caitlin Overshiner, not just some work, but giving her some playing time too, in the tournament last weekend. And then you, Book, man, back in like January, because we have so many players, young players in Indiana, we had an offensive indoor practice set in Indiana. And Mari, our pitcher, ended up hurting her shoulder and she wasn't able to pitch. And dude, you came out and pitched to our team for us, man. Big props to you. And I know beyond that, you've been very supportive of the Sirens. And I just want you to know, I and all of us, we really appreciate it.
Neil, I'm about helping every team, and then, like I said, helping the Sirens, of course, and helping all the teams. I'm about this league. And like I said, like I said, when I thought it was fantastic when the Sirens were a part of this MBBA, man. I mean, it's a family. And then if anything I can help you guys with, I will be helping you guys with. And like even getting players from the blind school, because I have a connection with the blind school,
Yeah,
whether they're
obviously that's
guys or
well
girls.
There's
documented.
that factory.
But like I said, it just gives people an opportunity, and I like to give people and teams opportunity, even for baseball. And we had Jasmine at one of our practices as well,
Okay,
and I
cool.
told I told Cassandra, your the coach. I said, hey, if those girls want to work with us, work with me, or help those girls after our practice, because I oversee a park right next door to my house. I'll be glad to help those guys hit balls to them or do whatever I can with them. That's how I learned. That's how Ron Brown and I learned. I mean, we didn't have the resources, but we just learned how to help people and work with people, and our team, our organization is like we just helped the Boston Strong. You know what I mean? Just a
Yeah,
group
yeah,
of us. That was
yeah.
fantastic, and that's what we like to do, man. I mean, props to you to be with the Sirens, man, and giving them a lot of guidance and a lot of information and a lot of help. But no, I'm here for you guys. I'm here for whatever team that wants to reach out and wants any advice from myself or just to help you guys with anything. But yeah, like I said, Neil, no, the Sirens are a big part of the NBBA, and we hope they stay that way for a long, long time.
Well, I appreciate that. And you gave me some personal encouragement talking earlier about you and Jared, how you're co-coaches now. It made me realize I got a goal. I want to earn co-coach of the Sirens, so that I'm so sick of McDaniel bossing me around all the time. So I want to get up to co-coach, man.
And like I said, when we tell our guys, and Ron taught me this a long time ago, Ron Brown, going back to Ron Brown, being loyal, and that's why we try to stress with our players. We try to do the platoon system, and we know everybody wants to play, everybody puts money involved, but we always say, and a lot of people maybe they don't say it out loud, but we always say, don't worry it's team first, individual second. Don't worry about your stats because the stats will take care of themselves. If you do what you're supposed to do and when you get in and produce, we always say stats will take care of themselves. And that's why we try to have the platoon system. And yes, like I said, I like people to practice like they're starters. I know I'm long-winded, but again, the bottom line is we are a team and it's team first, and then you'll get the accolades if they present themselves on how you perform. So, and Ron taught me that, like, don't worry about your stats, man. It's about winning, being a team, and that's what we want to be, and that's where we have been, and we want to get back to the top, just like that. And I think we got the personnel to do so.
One of your new players, my boy Aaron C, likes to say CTC, control the controllables. So it's
Exactly, control what you can control.
all you could do in sports. All right, guys, let's. I'm just gonna run down. There's only 5 games to run down from this first leg of the Beast of the East. Of course, if any of you are running out of time, you need to jump. I understand if you take off, but I'll run down these scores and just note a couple things at the end, and you guys are certainly welcome to jump in. So again, the Beast of the East is a 2-leg tournament that just involves teams from the East Coast, mostly from the Northeast. I think exclusively for the Northeast. You got both Boston teams, Strong and Renegades, the Philly Fire, Long Island Bombers, and the New Jersey Titans. The second round of this coming up in a couple weeks, but here's how day one played out. All teams played 2 games each. In the morning, you had the New Jersey Titans defeat the Long Island Bombers 15-11 in a competitive game. I've already forgotten his name. I meant to double check before we started, but the Long Island Bombers have a new pitcher they're working with. I know that Your Honor, Patrick Krause has helped the pitcher out a little bit, and he's coming along pretty good. So they had a good game against Titans, 15-11. The Boston Renegades defeated the Boston Strong 12-1, and that was all in the morning. They actually had a long ball competition during the break, and I don't have confirmation, but I believe Alex Barrera was the winner of the long ball competition. Then in the second round of games, the Philly Fire beat the Boston Renegades 16-15 in a really good game, I thought. I'll have a couple more notes on that at the end of this. The other game was New Jersey Titans 13-1. I had it from two other sources at 6-0, but I believe, and I didn't listen to that game. I believe the stream had cut out late in the game, but Nestor Gonzalez says that was 13-1. And so I'm going to go with that because I think Nestor could probably take me in a fight. So I'm not gonna argue with Nestor. They did a tribute to Ted Fast, who we lost over this last year. He ran the Long Island Bombers for years and years and years, a big piece of their organization, and a big piece of the Beast of the East coming together. So they did a tribute to Ted Fast. Rest in peace, Teddy. He's been on the show before. And then the final game of the day was the Philly Fire defeating the Long Island Bombers 12-6. Again, considering the talent of the Philly Fire, the Long Island Bombers played them pretty tight. The game with the Boston Renegades, and you might be able to appreciate this a little bit, Book, but I'm a little bit envious of the Boston Renegades, and I never thought I'd say this, and might be surprised about why. It's really because of how well Rob Weisman, the job he has done keeping track of, and the whole organization of their history. When I listen to their streams, it's like listening to a professional broadcast because they know who scored the most runs, who has scored, made the most putouts, who's played the most games. Like Rob Weisman has kept track of all of that the way I wish. And I'm envious because our West Coast Dogs, our history's just gone, other than what we remember. And what the NBBA has, our history's just
Yeah,
gone.
yeah. Rob is quite the numbers guy, and
Yeah.
I'm real impressed with that too as well. I mean, he really is, and like I said, I think Rob Dias has scored 184 runs in his career. That's pretty. I think on one stream, because I kind of went back and watched some of the games because
Yeah.
taking notes as a coach and watching things. But yeah, I'm real impressed because, like I said, Rob is a numbers guy, and that's really impressive how Rob runs his organization over there, and with the numbers and like you said, how many games people have played, how many runs they've scored. That's pretty
Yeah.
impressive.
And here's another one that they've kept track of that blew me away. So they've got a player. He was a rookie last year, Tyler Moralt.
Yeah,
Who's
no, so he was there at the World Series last year because I never heard of him. Because even when we played him last year, I don't think Tyler played against us in that when we played Boston for 3, 4.5 hours last year. I don't remember hearing his name, but
so
he was
I
on the. But
I
he was,
guess technically I don't know because they don't just include World Series numbers. Their numbers include all the tournaments. He only had two at bats last year, whether they were at the World Series or at the Beast of the East. I'll be honest,
okay.
that I don't know. So he went 2 for 2 last year, and then yesterday he went 7 for 7 before they put him out,
Wow.
scoring, going 9 for 9 in his first 9 career at bats, and that set a record for them. Like the record up until this weekend had been 3 runs to start their career, but just the
Was
fact
that
that they keep track of that is
was
so
that
cool.
Thaxton? Did they say it was Thaxton?
No,
That he
if they said who it was that has the record, I didn't hear it.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know
didn't
how
hear it
old
either.
it
I just
was.
wondered was it because I know
Yeah,
Thaxton's really really good. So, man, yeah, he seemed like a pretty good player. I was watching him on tape. So
yeah,
yeah,
no,
it seems like a pretty good player.
I'd
I
like
mean,
to learn
definitely
more about him.
offensively, not sure defensively, but I know he can
Yeah,
put the
yeah.
ball in play. That's for sure.
No, he got off to a great start in his 10th at bat when he made his first out. So going back to the game, the Philly Fire won this game 16-15. It was cool. Shout out Justin Rhines was back out there playing. I was happy to see him playing again. Casey Krause not yet back in the lineup, unfortunately. I hope he's going to be all right. I don't have an update on that, but he was out there with his team yesterday, so that's always good to see. But Justin was back. So they won that game 16-15. In the bottom of the sixth, Boston came up down 16-14. And Tyler Moralt was who led off the inning. And at first they called it safe, so it looked like he had scored a 10th straight run to start his career, but then they overturned it and called him out. Sean Devonish
Oh,
came up and scored a run, had a big poke. I'm trying to think who was that. Oh, Joe Mack was there playing with them. McCormick got put out, and then Shane Catton struck out to end the game. But that was a really fun game to listen to.
yeah.
And that's really all I have on the Beast
Yeah,
of the East. Go ahead, Cody. You got some?
I was going to jump in. I was kind of busy this weekend. Actually, usually I have Saturdays off, but I had to work yesterday, so I didn't get to catch much of the action going on. But that was the one game I really wanted to tune in and watch. I might try to go back and catch the stream if I could find it. But obviously those are two legitimate threats going into the World Series. Potential contenders. Boston's got the pieces to make a good run. We know what kind of team they have. They're always a strong team. And then I didn't realize Ryan was going to play this week. I heard them mention it last week that he may or may not. They didn't, no, they didn't confirm. So it's really good to see him back out here. I'd love to see that team get fully healthy going into the series, because fully healthy, they're going to be an absolute beast of a team, and I'm excited. I want there to be as many competitive teams at the series as possible, and those two will definitely be looking to be in contention on Friday.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next leg coming up in 2 weeks, because we'll see New Jersey play both of these teams, and I'd like to see all three of those teams. I think are going to be fighting for top 5, top 6 spots. So I want to see the
Right.
Titans. But you're talking about Justin Rhines. Like he's become one of my favorite players. He's really good offensively, leading off for them. Normally he was hitting 6 yesterday, but he's coming back from an injury. Last year he was leading off for them, but he's become a really good like deep left fielder. And I guess I feel this excitement. I know we don't know if Zach Bueller's going to be playing or not, but I love the change. I guess, Buck, I'll get your thoughts because you've been around longer. This change with short, mid, and deep getting recognition on defense. Now, I'm really happy for people like Justin Rhines and Zach, who play deep and never get enough opportunity for all-star consideration, and people like Axel Cox too, who have been really good in the middle. Mike Finn, same thing. Do you feel the same way, Buck, with the changes?
Absolutely, man. Because these guys, I mean, they make all-star plays, man. Mike Finn, you mentioned, Axel, then our guy Zach Bueller, and then Kyle Lewis out there as well. I mean, these guys are. I'm glad that passed, and and nothing against our short and guys and mid guys or whatever, but these left fielders and right fielders that make plays, man, they need to be recognized, and I'm glad that we have that, and a guy that's Mr. Versatility like a Jeff Dell or something like that, the utility guy. I think that's good as well. That means you are versatile and you can play wherever you need to play. But I'm definitely all in favor of the short, mid, and deep and utility.
Yeah, I'm digging it too. Like people like from our day, our
Right.
heyday book, like not Wiseman, Rob Wygant,
Rob, yeah, exactly.
Devin
Rob Wygant.
Nance.
Exactly. And then the guys on the
Yeah.
Blades, man, the guys on the East Bay Blades that you guys had out there. That was it. Did y'all? What was Juan Guzman? Where was he? Was he deep too? Juan Guzman.
Johnny Guzman.
Johnny Guzman.
Yeah. No, when we played you in '90, he in the third place game, he was our deep left fielder. But Johnny's one of those cats, kind of like the players now, that was versatile.
Yeah.
If you wanted Johnny at short left, he could play short left and gobble up balls. And if you wanted to put him in deep left, he's like Steve Stambaugh. Stambaugh was like
Right.
that. He could be an all-star shortstop, or he could be a back-breaking outfielder that just made, because the outfielders don't get all the opportunity, but when they make those plays that you think is a sure run, and they just suck the life out of you when they go snag that ball, man. No,
and with all those guys,
that was Bueller last year.
They put in the work, man, and you can see how they put in the work, and angles and lining the ball up. You think for sure you got to run. Not with a lot of these left fielders now, man, because they work on their craft, they work on their game, and like a Bueller, like a Kyle Lewis, like I said, Justin Rhymes and a Rob Wygant back in the day. They just line that ball up. They got a great ear, and they're just athletic, man.
Yeah, no, definitely. All right, fellas. I really have nothing else. We've chatted it up pretty good. I really appreciate you guys, especially you, Book, like throwing this together. I came to you kind of at the last minute on Friday, and man, you got a great group here together. It's a holiday. You guys all took time. I appreciate you guys very much. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Neil, and good luck with your upcoming presidency. We'll see. I'll see if you get the candidate campaign or whatever. Good luck with that. Like I said, we're going to miss the Beat Ball Blues show after the World Series, but hey, somebody may come along, but you've done a great job the last 4 or 5 years since you've hosted it. Appreciate you having us, man. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. All right. I'm going to end the stream, end the show. Oh, you want to throw something out there, EJ? I thought EJ was popping in. My bad.
Yes, man. We appreciate you.
I appreciate you, Joel. It's good to meet you. Look forward
Thanks for having us on here.
You bet. Both of you. I look forward to shaking your hand for the first time when we're out in Missouri.
Happy Father's Day, Pops. You watching, man.
Awesome.
I see you fellas at practice next week.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, Thunder. And thank you to anybody and everybody that checked this show out. We will see you next time. Be well.
Awesome, Neil.